Hello students. So we are going to consider a case of overhanging beam. Okay. So we will be drawing influence line diagram for overhanging beam. Let's see the question. So here, this is overhanging beam where you can see a support. Okay, these are the supports A and B, and we have to draw influence line diagram for reaction at support A. Okay, see it carefully what we need to calculate. So we need to draw reaction at support A, reaction at support B, shear force at section D, and even bending moment at this point, and also shear force and bending moment at point E. Okay, now I want you to see this particular diagram carefully. In this, distance from A to D is given as Z. Okay, it's given as Z, and E to C is Z1. Okay, so this information we are going to use it little later. Okay, so we will be using in terms of X is varying from which to which distance. But just for your, you should remember that distance between A to D, that is given as Z, and it is from Z1. Okay, this distance is Z1, and the span between the support, that is length L, and the overhanging portion span is A. Okay, so let's start with the problem. So here we can see a beam with unit load. So here we are going to consider three cases. Okay, where we are going to consider what is the positioning of unit load. Okay, while solving this particular problem, what will be the positioning of the unit load, that we are going to see here. Now let me take you to the solution part. So this is our question. Now here, this is the same beam. Okay, same beam what I have shown you. Now let us start with reaction at support A. Okay, reaction at support A. Now for a simply supported beam, when it is a case of simply or overhanging beam, we know that to calculate reaction at A, we generally consider moment, we consider summation of forces in y direction, right? And we consider summation of moments. Okay, so these two equations and summation of forces in horizontal direction, x direction. So three equations we generally use. Okay, now here we have to draw influence line diagram for support reaction at A. Okay, it's a influence line diagram for support reaction at A. This is what we have to do. So here in this case, whilst attempting to solve all these six answers, we will be considering these three cases. Okay, so some for most of the time we will be considering case number 1 and case number 3, and case number 2 will be for shear force bending moment most of the time. Okay, so what is these cases? Just see here that when unit load is acting between A and B. Okay, unit load is acting between A and B. It's not exactly at the point D. Okay, so it is somewhere unit load is acting between A and B. So when it is in between the span, means in between the supports, the unit load is there. Then next is the second case, which we will be using for shear force bending moment. Okay, so for this case, unit load is acting in between the portion DB. Okay, and for this particular third, it is acting in between the EC. Okay, yeah, BC, sorry, in this portion. So for every case, we are going to get some support reaction. We are going to get some RARB, and for the respective as we'll progress in solution, we'll come to know that how we are going to utilize them. Okay, so these are the positioning of unit load, how we are going to consider, because as the position is changing, our influence line diagram will change. Okay, we may get a different value. Okay, now starting with the first, we have to calculate reaction at support A. So here, when unit load is in the beam AB, okay, when unit load is in here, So first case. So when unit load is here, now simply consider, because we want to find out what is the support reaction at A. So let us consider moment about support B is 0. Okay. Now when we consider moment about support B is 0, so what all loads are available? So there is a reaction RA there and one unit load is also there. So how we will consider moment about B means load into perpendicular distance. Okay. So RA into L. So we have written RA into L, and this one unit load 1 into this distance, right? This distance. So that will be 1 into L minus X. So we have written that. Okay. So with this we are getting our support reaction L is equal to L minus X by L. So whenever we are getting relation in terms of X, so that shows that whatever ILD we are going to draw, it will be having a linear variation. So nature of the ILD will be of linear. Now in this case, if you see that when this unit load is in AB, our X is varying from 0 to L, right? So substitute X equal to 0 in this equation. So when X equal to 0, our ILD for RA is 1. And when X equal to L, RA becomes 0. Okay. So this is the case. So this is when unit load is in AB. Now let us see when unit load is in other part of the beam. So now next when unit load is in BC. Okay. So we are considering this part. So for this now we are calculating ILD for RA only. Okay. Now again in this case, let us consider when unit load is in this part, because this is already covered. Okay. AB we have considered. Now let us consider BC. So when unit load is here, again consider the moment about support B. Okay. Now when moment about support B, so what are loads we can see here? This is the overhanging beam, right? So we have again support RA and we also have the unit load. So RA into L, RA into L, then this is minus 1 into, this is the perpendicular distance. So what is that perpendicular distance? That is nothing but total distance A minus X. Okay. So with this we are getting RA equals to minus of A minus X by L. So when unit load is in this portion, RA is minus A, minus in bracket A minus X by L. Now again X is varying. Now here X, variation of X is different. Okay. Here variation of X is different. So it is varying from 0 to A. Okay. These limits are starting from 0 to A. So when X equal to 0, RA, so when you substitute X equal to 0 here, so we get minus A by L. And when we substitute X equal to A here, so RA becomes 0. So let us simply plot these values. Okay. So now just see here that when X equal to 0, RA is equal to minus A by L. Okay. When X equal to 0, this X when it is at this point, we are getting RA equals to minus A by L. That's why it is negative. It is downward. And when X equal to A, it is 0. Okay. RA is 0. So it is 0 here. Now the previous case, when X was 0, we got RA as 1. Let's see here. See, when X is equal to 0, we got RA is equal to 1. And when X equal to L, RA is equal to 0. So simply plot these points and then connect them. Okay. So this becomes influence line diagram for support reaction at A. Okay. So this is the influencing line diagram for support reaction at A. Hope this one part is you understood. Okay. Now let us see the influence line diagram for RB. Now support reaction RB. Okay. Again we will consider the same way. First let us consider unit load is in portion AB. So we are considering unit load in this portion and then we'll consider unit load in portion BC. Okay. So in this case, when we want ILD for RB, let us consider moment about A is 0. Okay. So when moment about A is 0 and unit load is acting here, so calculate the what is RB. So we will write moment about A. So RB into L and 1 into X. Okay. So this is again we will get a linear variation. So RB is equal to X by L. Again substitute X is in between 0 to L. Okay. So for portion AB, X is varying from 0 to L. Okay. So substitute the limits in this equation. So when x is equal to 0, RB is 0. When x is equal to L, RB is 1. Okay, so we are getting actually these ordinate values. So that is only we will plot here. Now when unit load is in BC, when it is in this part, now again consider what is the moment at A. Okay, so what is the moment at A? Moment at A is equal to 0. So when it is in BC, it is RB into L, and now from this distance we have to find out what is the total perpendicular distance. So 1 into this distance is A minus X, okay, and plus L. Okay, so that's what we have written here. So 1 into L plus A minus X. So with this we are getting RB is equal to when L goes down, L plus A minus X. Now here now this X is again varying in between 0 to A. Okay, so when X is equal to 0, RB becomes L plus A by L, and when we substitute it here, right, when it is 0, then we get this, and when X equal to A, we are getting RB is equal to 1. Now again substitute these values. Now let us see the AB portion. Okay, for AB portion, what answers we got? So when X is equal to 0, RB is equal to 0 we got, and when X equal to L, RB is equal to 1. Okay, we got it as 1 unit. And then for this BC portion, when X is equal to 0, it becomes 0 here, right? So it is L plus A by L, and when X equal to A, RB is 1. Okay, so this becomes influence line diagram for reaction at B. Now let us see the shear force and bending moment at point D and E. Now influence line diagram for shear force at D point. Okay, so shear force at D point. Now here we will be considering the three parts. So when unit load is in between AD, when unit load is in between DB, and when unit load is in between BC. Okay, so these three parts we are going to consider for the shear force bending moment. Now here when load is in portion AD, okay, when the load is only in this portion in between AD, then shear force at this point. Okay, so what is the shear force? So when load is in between this, so shear force is nothing but whatever load at the left side you can see, right? So load at the left side is not shear force at D. Okay, so it is nothing but RA minus 1. Okay, this is going down. This is RA minus 1. RA minus 1. But RA is L minus X by L. Okay, so in this portion we had seen that RA is L minus X by L. So when we substitute RA in our previous calculation, we got it as L minus X by L. Now simply substitute this value L minus X by L minus 1. Now X is in between. So see it carefully. X is varying in between 0 to Z, because A to D distance is Z. And this X distance is where unit load is acting. Actually, I should have shown it somewhere here so that it becomes more clear. Okay, and this distance is Z. Okay, so see it like this. So whereas X is in between 0 to Z. Now when X equal to 0, our shear force, okay, in this equation, when X is equal to 0, shear force becomes 0. And when X equal to Z, then shear force at D is, simply substitute Z here. So we get it as minus Z by L. So these two values we got here. Now let us consider when unit load is in portion DB. Okay, now unit load is in portion DB. But we want to know what is shear force at this point. So we want to know what is shear force at this point. So section is it here. So only consider this part. Okay, we cannot consider for shear force. So whatever comes at this particular section, we will see that. So shear force at D is, again, it is only RA because unit load went that side, right? So here shear force is nothing but RA, that is L minus X by L, and this X is varying from Z to L. Okay, so this total distance is Z, this is Z, and it is D to B, right? So it is Z to L. Okay, Z to L. So when X is equal to Z, substitute x equal to z, so we get it as shear force at D as L minus Z by L. And when x equal to L, shear force at D, when you substitute it, it becomes 0. So 2 cases covered. Now let us come to the third part when unit load is in BC. Okay. Now for this, let us start calculation from this side. Okay, see it from this side. So shear force at D is nothing but when we see this that is RB. Okay, and RB value we know that. So we are seeing this way. Okay. So here when you see like this, so RB is equal to minus x by L, and this x is varying between 0 to A. Okay. So when x is equal to 0, shear force at D is equal to 0. And when x equal to A, shear force at D is equal to minus A by L. Now let us calculate what is ILD for moment at point D. Okay, what is the ILD for moment? So shear force part is complete. Now let us see for the moment. Now when unit load is in portion AD, okay, when unit load is in portion AD, then moment at D is equal to this portion. Okay, unit load is in this portion. So moment at D point is nothing but RA into that particular length Z minus 1 into Z minus X. Okay, minus 1 into this particular perpendicular distance Z minus X. So substitute RA value. So when we substitute RA value, we get L minus X by L into Z minus Z minus X. And this X is varying in between 0 to Z. Okay. So when we substitute X equal to 0, we are getting 0. Okay. In this equation, when we substitute X equal to 0, we get 0. And when we substitute X equal to Z, then MD equals to L minus Z by L into Z. So we are getting this value. Now when unit load is in DB, when unit load is in this portion, then moment at this point is nothing but RA into Z. Okay, RA into Z. So when unit load is in this portion, moment about this point we want. So it is RA into Z. So again substitute RA value L minus X by L into Z. And when we substitute X equal to Z and L, so we are arriving at these ordinates. Now when unit load is in this portion, so in this case, when unit load is in BC part, then moment at D, D is again RA into Z. Now in this case, our RA values, okay, support reaction, when unit load is in this part, so RA value we have calculated before, that is minus of A minus X by L. So let me show you RA. See this one. Okay. So when unit load is in BC, we get RA as minus of A minus X by L. So we have used this part. So once we get this equation, for this part, this X is varying from 0 to A. Okay. So when X equal to 0, moment at D is minus A by L into Z. And when X equal to A, moment at D becomes 0. Okay. So this part D. So shear force and bending moment at this point is done, completed. Now let us see influence line diagram for shear force at E point. Okay. So what is the shear force and moment at point E? Now when unit load is in portion AB, okay, when unit load is in portion AB, then shear force, there will not be any force here. Okay. So shear force at this point will be 0. And when unit load is in portion DB, at that point also there will not be any shear force at this point. Okay, because we are calculating shear force at E. So there will not be any shear force. When unit load in this part, so definitely shear force will be there, and that will be simply 1 unit load. Okay. So just see here, because the load is not acting in that part, so it will not contribute to any shear force over there. Similarly for bending moment. Now for moment at this point E, okay, so when load is in this part, that is in the part of AB, AD and DB, okay, when unit load is in this part, so in this part, when in this portion when unit load is there, so there will not be any moment at E. But when the load is in EC part, so when the load is in this part, then our moment will be, okay, suppose our load will be in this part, then our moment will be minus 1 into Z1 minus X. Okay, this distance, if you remember, this was Z1, right? Yeah, this is Z1, right? E to C is Z1. So when unit load is in that part, unit load this part at this point, it was Z1. Okay. So EC is Z1. And if unit load is in between this, so in that case, minus 1 into Z1 minus X. So in that case, X is varying from 0 to Z1. So when X equals to 0, moment at E is minus Z1, and when X equal to Z1, moment at E becomes 0. Now let us plot all the values. So ILD for moment at D is, we have plotted this value. So at this point we are getting, okay, influence line diagram for D. So at this part 0 to A, we are getting at this point C, okay, when X is equal to X is varying from 0 to A. So when X equal to 0, at that point we are getting minus A by L into Z, and when X equal to A, we are getting moment as 0. Okay, so we have plotted this. Similarly, at this point our moment values are at X equal to Z, MD is equal to L minus Z by L. So let us plot that value there. Okay, so once we plot, simply connect those lines and we'll get the ILD for moment at D, and then ILD for shear force at E. So here shear force only in this portion EC, it is constant, right? Shear force here at this point, so it is 1 only in EC portion, so that is constant. So we have drawn in that. Rest of the part ILD is 0. Similarly for moment, we are getting moment as Z1 at this point, and other rest of the portion it is 0. And coming to this shear force diagram, okay, I think I have already told that for shear force at D, we have plotted all the values. Yes, I have discussed it. So then we get shear force ILD for shear force diagram in this way, okay, for this particular case. So students, one need to practice a little bit for this influence line diagram. So you practice it for more time, and it will become really clear to you. Okay, so thanks for listening to this class. Thank you.